Yo, what is going on, guys? Tony here, coming at you with another video, and as obviously probably per requested, after the Centurion vs Kensei matchup guide, people were wanting me to make a Shinobi vs Kensei matchup guide, and being completely honest, this is the first time I've actually ever touched Shinobi in an actual game, and I already feel just dirty. I just feel dirty doing it. So please bear with me if I mess up some of the fucking moves. I'm gonna just try to show you a generalization of what people do. But before I go into this, I just wanted to briefly discuss what was talked about on the Warriors Den last week regarding the nerf to the kick, actually. It's actually a decent nerf. So, obviously, the main move with the Shinobi is to do this double dodge into a kick like that. So, what they basically did is they increased the stamina cost of it. I believe they said it was like 5 or something for the kick to like 20. So, they increased that. Now, obviously, you guys know there is an uninterruptible stance. Basically, it's kind of like hyper armor with the kick. You can't be basically canceled out of your animation once you've already started the kick. And this makes it pretty difficult because you can still get a hit off on somebody and they still kick you in the face and get a heavy off, which it's kind of unfortunate. So what they did with this is they actually increased the duration for this hyper armor to actually activate on Shinobi, so it comes later in the kick. That way, if you do predict that he's going to be throwing out a kick, you can then throw out maybe a quick light attack and be able to stop the kick animation from actually happening. And then they also just increased the basically time to do the kick, just like in milliseconds. It's like a 0.2 of a second increase on specifically the side kick, because this tends to be the one that people use the most. So that's pretty decent as well. And actually, another nerf that Shinobi's getting is a lot of the times people would do the double dodge into a guard break, which is kind of annoying. So you go in here and then go for a guard break, and then you end up catching out somebody who's trying to dodge like that. So with the update, it makes it so that the Shinobi has to wait for the animation to finish to basically go for a guard break. So I guess that's like right there. So it's a lot more delayed. So if somebody's actually doing a dodge attack, they might be able to get it off before they're able to do the actual guard break on you. So that's something to look for. Now, basically with the Shinobi, it's kind of hard when you're going up against them right now with, you know, the constant dodges and kicks and whatnot. It's a lot about timing and also spacing. You have to try to take advantage of that low health pool of the Shinobi, and obviously you need to see what type of player you're going up against, because you'll get one player who just stands way back here, dashes, and only does this move, and then you'll get some player who's just always, you know, doing this shit and just, you know, just doing kick spam basically and guard break spam and everything like that. So you need to kind of basically feel out what the person's doing. They might do a mixture of both, but for the most part, the player will usually stick to one mode or the other. So as far as we'll go with his range attack right here. I think the actual attacks are, you know, really easy to block. One thing just to take note of in this is that the Shinobi cannot block during this. So if, you know, they start doing it real up close, just throw out an attack and they won't be able to block it or probably cancel their wind up in time. So that's something too. It's really a long range tool, which is why you see people doing it. Another thing that's kind of difficult that not a lot of people seem to get at first was his ranged guard break. So let me get a distance from this PK. So yeah, obviously you throw it in, you know, they do this move to you, but the actual timing to get rid of that guard break is you have to wait to as soon as it hits you. I see a lot of people going very early because they see the guard break animation, and it's kind of dumb that, you know, the game punishes you a little bit for having decent reactions, but you have to wait for the actual blade to hit you before you can cancel that guard break. And then from that, you should be able to get a either like a side or a top heavy off onto the Shinobi. I'm not 100% sure at what the max is. I think it might be a top heavy, and it's sometimes you only get like a light on them due to spacing and all that stuff. So another thing, you know, with the Shinobi is that the parries, they basically fall on the ground and shit. So I don't believe the out of stamina combo works for these. unless they're actually out of stamina. Although they do get sent on the ground, you won't be able to get the side light into the top heavy off. The recovery time is too much, so I usually just go for a normal heavy attack, and that should be good with you. You shouldn't have a difficult time if a Shinobi is just actually trying to, like, attack you, because for the most part, those are, like, not that difficult to deal with, except maybe if they're, like, fainting, like a top heavy like that. The jump is a little bit hard to predict, and it kind of throws you off, so that's something to look for too. But a lot of Shinobis I see don't really go for the feint game. They, you know, they do their kick stuff, so you just have to really be cognizant of the kick and try to keep your distance, even though most Shinobis want to keep their distance from you, to be quite honest. So I mean, you have other combos too that the Shinobi likes to do, such as like going in for the kick and then doing the little charge thing, coming through here, kicking ya, going for some weird backflip shit. Really, after you dodge that kick or even to get hit by it, the other stuff shouldn't be that difficult to actually block and whatnot. It's really the kick that throws you off, because you never know at this moment when he's going to actually be going for the guard break. At the moment now, it's going to be, once this nerf hits, it's going to be a lot easier to predict the kick, I believe, since that if they're playing fast, most likely the double dodge will lead into the kick, because they'll have to basically wait till like right there to do the guard breaks from now on, and a lot of people can react to that. So now this might be used, the double dodge, as a parry bait or a deflect bait, because the deflects are very strong on the Shinobi, so that is something to just look forward to as well. But I think this is mostly the main things that you need to look for in a Shinobi. I mean, I guess last thing is, if a Shinobi's sprinting at you, they're probably gonna slide tackle you. Timing on the slide tackle is kind of hard. You need to be like basically dodging as it happens, not before, because it will track you. So watch out for that as well. But really, the Shinobi at the moment has really only been about the kick spam. So you just have to watch out for that, and you should be good. And hopefully I'll be able to tell you how to do that. So guys, like I did with Centurion, I think it's better if I just kind of talk over my tips as Kensei against Shinobi instead of going in against the bot. It might just show you guys a little bit more of a real-time actual situation. So my main thing is to space yourself out while throwing light attacks. Now, I specifically mean the side lights, because I've mentioned before they do have the longest range. And honestly, if you are able to, you know, just kind of bait the person to coming towards you and then throwing out a light attack, you can usually catch the Shinobi during their double dash, which cancels it, or just to get free damage in general. Now it's going to be a lot more easy to actually get your light attacks off with the hyper armor coming later on the kick. So this is even more of an effective strategy, and given the Shinobi's very small health pool, I believe 4-5 light attacks should kill them, and you can honestly sometimes get 2 off in a chain, so they're already at half health. So that is honestly the main thing that you're going to want to do against a Shinobi. The combo chains aren't going to be as effective here because they are so quick and agile, and they can often just dodge out of the way of your attacks and then start their own chains as well, and then you end up losing a bunch of health, which is what we don't want to do. So honestly, you got to play this matchup a little bit boring, but just throw light attacks out and you should be doing okay. Now, the next tip is also kind of a just, I don't know, just a tip in general for certain types of Shinobis, not all Shinobis. If you got a Shinobi who's really aggressive up on you, going for attacks and you know, kicks, guard breaks, stuff like that, one thing to do is to actually feint out some of your attacks, because really good Shinobis know how to use that deflect very well, and the bleed that it applies on you and also stamina drain, it's very effective, and I see a ton of high level players doing it. So every once in a while you throw out just a heavy feint into a light attack. You should catch most Shinobis off guard, and they're usually just dashing into you and don't usually have the recovery speed or reactions to dash twice to get a deflect off the second attack. So that's something also that's very effective to use. My last tip is not really a move tip or combo tip, but it's pretty much don't be afraid to trade. Now, we all know Shinobi's health is very low, as I've stated multiple times in this video. So you can't be afraid to throw out attacks, even if you get parried or deflected on one of them. If you get one hitting, like a heavy attack will do half of their health. So you honestly just need to be pressing the Shinobi, but not in a stupid way to where they can get deflects off and they can easily dodge your attacks. But you do need to be pressing, because I've had many instances where you just throw out a random heavy and you end up catching them in a double dash and you end up killing them from half health. So trading with the Shinobi should be fine for most characters, because the health pool is, you know, substantially more than them. Just take a look at like Kensei. I believe he has close to 5 bars of health versus like barely over 3 for Shinobi. So you are fine to lose a couple trades here and there, but if you're able to connect on some of your bigger attacks, you will be doing a lot of damage to the Shinobi, and you should have decent success. Alright guys, so I hope that this did help you out a little bit for playing against the Shinobi. Not 100% sure how it's going to work after the nerf, but hopefully it'll be a lot easier to deal with them, and hopefully the kick spam won't be out as much, and maybe they'll have to adapt and find new ways of trying to play as the Shinobi. So basically they're just trying to make our job easier right now. So right now is the worst the Shinobi's gonna be, and they're just gonna keep adjusting him until they see a spot to where he's quote unquote balanced. But we know he probably won't be balanced because it's Ubisoft. But like I said, if you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate all of you very much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Peace.